yesterday's ball game. You struck out your first 2 times against Steve Shell with the curveballs. You didn't want to get any fastballs over the plate in your first 2 at-bats. And then on your next time up, you get that big hit to bring a team within 1 run. You get driving the 2 runs with the base hit. Tell us a little bit about that at-bat and what you were thinking after you had struck out your first 2 times.
Well, the 3rd time up, after striking out the first 2 times, the runners were in scoring position again. So I just, I was telling myself, I just got to come up big. I got to come through. And luckily, I got ahead in the count, whereas he had been ahead the first 2 at-bats and had been able to use his curveball effectively. So by getting ahead, he had to throw fastballs 3-1 and 3-2, and I put a good swing on the 3-2 fastball and got it up the middle to get those 2 runs in. So it was a little bit of redemption after the first 2 failures.
Now, oftentimes when a hitter's struggling, what the coaches will tell you is concentrate on going up the middle, not going the other way and not pulling the ball, but just concentrate on hitting the ball right back at the pitcher. And it seems like oftentimes you get a lot of base hits that go straight up the middle. Is that just going with the pitch, or is that something that you're trying to do?
It's really, I try to hit the ball hard wherever it's pitched, but that's one thing I do work on a lot in batting practice, just going right up the middle. That way, if I'm working on the middle, if it's a little away or a little in, I can go a little away or, pull the ball. So if I focus, my efforts right on the middle and taking the ball right back at the pitcher, like I said, then if it's a little in or a little out, then I can just go with it. And really that's all I try to do is wherever it's pitched, hit it as hard as I can. And lately it's been working.
And then in the bottom of the 9th inning, okay, you're on deck and you see everything unfolding in front of you. What's going through your mind, or what's going through your stomach? Do you get any nervousness? Is it different from just a routine at bat in the middle of the game when you're getting up there with the game on the line?
Definitely. There's a lot of pressure, but you can also be a hero, and it's a great feeling when you come through. So, I was hoping that Brant would get it done in front of me. He had been having a great game with a couple doubles and had been on base, and so he popped out, but still gave me the chance with 1 out to get that run in with the bases loaded. So I knew there's a lot of possibilities of getting that run in, and I just had to hit the ball in the air or get a hit, or just there's numerous things I could do. I just tried to get a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it, and luckily I got the sac fly.
Sac fly. It was a pretty deep sac fly. I thought maybe you might have got over the wall first. A grand slam would have been nice to win the game, but as long as you win the game, I guess that's all that matters. Now, yesterday's ball game, it's kind of critical. You guys came back in the first game of the series and within a run, and then they got 3 runs in the 8th inning and kind of put it away, and then you kind of fell flat at the end. How important is it to try and win series, take 2 out of 3 from a team, as opposed to losing 2 out of 3?
Just trying to win the series is real important. Every day we come out to try to win each game, but obviously in 140 games that's not possible. So if you can really try to win the series, come out on top every time, that'll always keep you above 500, or you'll keep winning more than losing. So really to come out and try to win a series and to get back in it yesterday with a win, now we can win the series tonight. It's a great feeling. It's a good effort every time you can win a series. It's just confidence building, and it really helps with the standings too.
I guess it'll keep you over 500 too. During the month of May, you guys just barely over 500 now after having a fantastic April. San Jose is bearing down on you. What does this team have to do to win the division here in the first half?
We just have to keep playing our game. We have to limit mistakes and just play hard every day. And I can't really explain what's been going on. We got off to a real hot start. Everyone's still trying their hardest. We've just gotten into a little funk. So really, if we just stay within ourselves and not try to do too much, and just stick with the things that we do best. Yesterday was a great sign of coming back and winning that game, because that's what we were doing a lot early in the year when we were winning a lot of games. So if we can keep playing like that and stay in the games, we'll win more than we lose, and we'll hopefully we'll continue to be in first place and continue with a good season.
Well, certainly looking forward to that, Brian. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Once again, congratulations on a great game yesterday. As a token of our appreciation for being on the show today, we have a gift certificate for a free lunch at the Velvet Grill and Creamery, 2 locations in Modesto, and I hope you have an opportunity to enjoy their food real soon. Again, Brian, thanks a lot, and I hope we can get a chance to talk real soon.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Brian Stavisky has been my guest on the A's pregame show. Stay tuned. We're back with more right after these messages. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field in Modesto. We're about ready to get underway with tonight's game. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Leading off and playing center field is Reggie Willits. Erick Aybar, the shortstop, at second. Michael Napoli at first base, hitting third. Jared Abruzzo, designated hitter in the cleanup spot. Greg Porter at third base, hitting fifth. Ryan Buddy, the catcher, bats sixth. David Gates is in left field, hitting seventh. Jason Sudgen in right field, hitting eighth. And B.J. Weed, the second baseman, hits ninth. Pitching tonight for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes is Daniel Davidson. And for the Modesto A's, leading off playing second base is Lloyd Turner. Andre Ethier in center field, batting second. Casey Myers, designated hitter, bats third. Brant Colamarino, first baseman, the cleanup spot. Nelson Cruz in the center field, hitting fifth. Jed Morris, the catcher, batting sixth. Omar Quintanilla, the shortstop, bats seventh. Marcus McBeth is in right field, hitting eighth. Isaac Garcia is at third base, hitting ninth. And pitching tonight for the Athletics, right-hander Tomas Cabanal. And the right-hander is ready to go to work against Reggie Willits. He winds, and the first pitch of the ball game is in there for a strike called, 0-1. First pitch at 7:08. Beautiful night for a ball game here in Modesto. Sun still shining bright on the field. Breeze blowing from right field out towards left. Cabanal with the 0-1 pitch, and that misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomas Cabanal has a 2-1 record, a 5.91 ERA. This is his 8th start of the season. He's worked 35 innings, given up 37 hits and 27 runs. Walked 16 and struck out 23. The 1-1 pitch is hit in the air to center field. Andre Ethier coming in, can't get it. Plays it on one hop. It's a base hit. And Reggie Willits leads off the ball game with a single for Rancho Cucamonga. Now to bring up Erick Aybar. Let's check in with Scott Emerson on Tomas Cabanal tonight.
Tonight's starting pitcher is Tomas Cabanal. Cabby's got to be effective tonight, throwing his sinker early in the count, as we've seen Rancho has got a good aggressive hitting team early in the count. He also got to be able to use his changeup, and he's got to throw it. He shies away from it sometimes, but tonight, look for him to use his changeup and be effective with using his changeup.
Scott Emerson, pitching coach for the Modesto A's. And Cabanal pitching to Erick Aybar, hits a fly ball in deep left field. Going back on it is Nelson Cruz. Shading his eyes from the sun, he makes the catch. Coming back to first base is Reggie Willits. Aybar flies out to left field, is 1 away, and the batter is Michael Napoli. Michael Napoli, hard-hitting first baseman tonight. He was the catcher in yesterday's ball game. Batting .341, that's third best in the California League, and he leads the league with 12 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Had a pair of singles in yesterday's ball game, driving in runs in each of the first 2 innings. Cabanal's pitch, it's a pitch out. And nothing happening there. 1 ball, no strikes to Napoli. Umpires for tonight's game, Brandon Leopoldus is behind the plate, and Aaron Banks is out on the bases. 1 ball, no strikes to Napoli. Cabanal working from the stretch. And throws over to first base. Runner gets back. Defensively for the Athletics tonight, Brant Colamarino is at first base. Lloyd Turner at second. Omar Quintanilla, the shortstop, and Isaac Garcia is at third. Nelson Cruz in left field. Andre Ethier in center. And Marcus McBeth is in right. Runner goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to second base is not in time. It goes through into center field. Willits on his feet and going down to third. It'll be a stolen base and an error on the catcher. So Reggie Willits with his 15th stolen base of the season. And goes to third on the error to the catcher, Jed Morris. So Rancho has a runner at third base with 1 out and a 1 ball and 1 strike count to the hard-hitting Michael Napoli. Cabanal's pitch. That misses low, 2-1. Jed Morris doing the catching tonight. John Swamy has the night off. This is the first game that John Swamy has missed. Played in 40 straight to open the season. And sits down for the first time tonight.
Combination of time to get a rest and against a left-hander. Swami, this is his first game of the season. He's the only A's player who's played in every game this season. Timeout is called as Napoli steps out of the box. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. Tomas Cabanero has had problems giving up runs early in the game. And he's in danger of doing that right here. Napoli fouls this one off right side, out of play. Counts even at 2-2. Cabanero has given up a run in the first inning of every start. And now the infield's going to come in with a 2-2 count on Napoli. All the infielders in on the edge of the grass, trying to cut off this run. Cabanero comes set, and a 2-2 pitch. Misses outside, the count is full. 3-2. Tomas Cabanero, the right-hander from Caracas, Venezuela. Fastball, curveball, 2-seam fastball with some good sink on it. Also, he's been working on a 2-seam change. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's swung on, fouled off the mask of Jed Morris. And Napoli stays alive with a 3-2 count. Heard Scott Emerson talking about his changeup, and they want Cabanero to use the changeup a lot more often tonight. He also needs ground balls to be effective. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, shallow right field. Long run from Macbeth. Colamarino, the first baseman, going out. He makes the catch down the line. Willits tags. Here comes a throw to the plate, and he is safe at home. Sacrifice fly for Napoli. Willits is in to score, and Rancho leads in the ball game 1-0. Tough play for Colamarino, making the catch in foul territory with his back turned to the plate. And then he had to turn and fire the ball home. Came in on a hop, not in time to get the speedy Willits. And that would have been a lot better for the A's if Macbeth could have caught that ball running towards the plate, and Willits probably wouldn't even have tried it. It's a 1-0 ball game. Here's Jared Abruzzo with the bases empty and 2 outs now. Sacrifice fly to the first baseman. A little bit of an odd play, but anytime you have an infielder running away from the plate, a runner is more likely to come home than if the outfielder is running in towards the plate. Swung on a miss. Strike 1 to Abruzzo. Jared Abruzzo hitting .378, 3 home runs, and 70 runs batted in. This is his 11th game for Rancho. He's only had 37 at-bats. Switch hitter up here batting left-handed against Cabanero. He hits a bouncing ball to first base. Colamarino with a nice pickup. Goes to Cabanero covering the bag. In time, 3-1 in the putout. And that retires the side. In the first inning for Rancho, they have a run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. After a half an inning, it's Rancho Cucamonga 1, Modesto coming to bat. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. Lloyd Turner will be leading it off for the A's. He'll be followed by Andre Ethier and Casey Myers. Up here against Daniel Davidson, left-hander from Lynn Haven, Florida. Davidson on the season with a 1-1 record, a 3.70 ERA, making his 8th start of the season. First pitch to Turner is in there for a strike called, 0-1. Lloyd Turner hitting .261, 1 home run and 11 runs batted in. Turner 0 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. He reached on an error. Pitch misses outside, 1-1. Stole his 5th base of the season. That leads the club. And he scored a run. A's scored an unearned run in each of the first 3 innings yesterday afternoon. Davidson with the 1-1 pitch. That misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Davidson has worked 41 in the 3rd innings this season, given up 45 hits and 20 runs. 17 of those have been earned. He has walked 12 and struck out 32. Opponents have a .278 batting average against him. Pitch misses outside. 3 balls and a strike to Lloyd Turner. In his last outing, a start against the Inland Empire at home on Friday night, he pitched 6 in the 3rd innings, gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. There's a ground ball up the middle, and unable to pick up the ball is the shortstop, Erick Aybar. And safe at first base is Lloyd Turner. That'll be an error on the shortstop. So Turner's on base. A's have the leadoff batter aboard. And Andre Ethier will be stepping up to the plate. Andre Ethier has been the A's hottest hitter. He's got his average up to .288, a pair of home runs, and 21 runs batted in. Over the last 10 games, he's batting .475 with 10 RBIs. First pitch to him's in there for a strike, 0-1. Left-handed batter out of Arizona State. Yesterday's ball game, it was Ethier with a base hit in the 9th inning to drive home Isaac Garcia to tie the game. Pitch misses outside. And then Ethier scored the winning run when he was driven home by Brian Stavisky. Stavisky with 3 RBIs in yesterday's ball game, including the game winner, as the A's had a come-from-behind 7-6 victory to even the series. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. This is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Defensively for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes tonight, Michael Napoli is playing at first base. B.J. Weed at second. Erick Aybar, the shortstop, and Greg Porter is at third. David Gates in left field, Reggie Willits in center, and Jason Sudgen in right. Pitch misses low and away. It's 3-1 to Ethier. Ryan Buddy doing the catching. And Daniel Davidson, left-hander, out on the mound. Davidson, 23 years old. 3-1 pitch is a high chopper over first base. It's a foul ball. Foul ball. It's a 3-ball and 2-strike count to Andre Ethier. Breeze blowing from right field out towards left field in a rather cool evening. Game time temperature 70 degrees. I call that comfortable. And throw over to first base as Turner was just taking another step towards second, and Davidson came over there, but Turner gets back standing up. Full count to Ethier. Turner now inches back towards the bag after walking off to his lead. And throw over to first base with Turner running, and Napoli's throw down to second. Turner is a dead duck. Out trying to steal. Play goes 3-6. And Turner is eliminated. So he reaches on an error, and he leaves the base on an error. Breaking towards the bag as Davidson threw over to first base. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ethier. And the pitch. Hits him. Ethier hit with a 3-2 pitch right in the back, and he goes down to first base. So Ethier at first, and the batter is Casey Myers. Casey Myers playing in his 10th game for the Athletics. His batting average at .394. No home runs or 1 run batted in. He has scored 3 times. Right-handed batter up here against Daniel Davidson with Ethier on at first. First pitch comes in there for a strike call, 0-1. Davidson was a childhood friend of the A's, Gerald McCall, back in Pensacola, Florida, and a teammate of Matt Lynch at Florida State. There's a strike call. It's 0-2. 6'4", 225 pounds. He was a 13th round draft pick out of Florida State in Tallahassee. Signed by Tom Kochman. Casey Kochman's dad. Pitch comes inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davidson, 23 years old. Features a fastball. Not real hard thrower. 81 to 85 miles an hour. Works the plate in and out. Depends on location and control. Foul ball right side, out of play. Count remains 1-2 to Casey Myers. Fastball, pretty good curveball. Very good at changing speeds. He's a finesse pitcher. Depends on ground balls and the hitters getting themselves out. Throw over to first base, and getting back to the bag is Ethier. Ethier on at first base. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. Rancho Cucamonga scoring in the top half. A's with their first at-bats. Ethier walks off to his lead at first base, and the 1-2 pitch to Myers misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Davidson was undefeated in his last 2 years at Florida State. Began at Florida State working out of the bullpen. Obviously not a hard thrower. Didn't get a whole lot of attention. There's a ground ball foul, third base side. Pass Vaughn Hayes, the manager of the Athletics, coaching the third base coach's box. Coaching down at first base is John Swami. Has to be involved in the game somehow. Swami's sitting out for the first time this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Casey Myers. Davidson from the belt. Left-hander's pitch. This is outside. Count is full, 3-2. Davidson started working out of the bullpen at Florida State and got an opportunity to start and turned into the top pitcher on the staff, became their Sunday pitcher. There's a line drive base hit into left field. Casey Myers with a 3-2 single to the left field hole. First hit for the A's. Puts runners at first and second base. And the batter is Brent Colamarino. Colamarino also been hitting the ball well lately. We talked to Eddie Williams about Colamarino.
Oh. Yeah, you know, the best thing about Colamarino going right now is he hits the ball off field. That's something he didn't do last year. His ability to hit a fastball and take the other way, whether it's a jam shot or not. He's not pulling off the ball. I think he's showing that everybody's a professional hitter.
That's hitting coach Eddie Williams on Brent Colamarino, who's up here at runners at first and second base. Bouncing ball to first. Napoli has it, steps in the bag, and that's going to be his only play. Colamarino is retired, 3 unassisted. Ethier goes to third, Myers to second. The batter will be Nelson Cruz.
Now batting left field, number 18, Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz hitting .279, 5 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Up here at runners at second and third base and 2 outs. Davidson's pitch. fouled off into the seats just to the left of the A's dugout. A line shot that almost buzzed one of the ushers down there, and it's picked up by one of the Red Cross folks. Good thing it didn't hit him in the head. He would have had to do some work on it, but as it is, he just gets himself a souvenir. No balls and a strike to Cruz. 0 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. Cruz leads the California League with 15 doubles and 21 extra base hits. There's a line drive up the middle into center field for a base hit. Ethier in to score. Myers being waved home. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. Myers scores. Nelson Cruz drives home 2, and the A's have the lead. It's 2-1. RBIs number 21 and 22 on the season for Nelson Cruz. Second hit for the A's. A's lead at 2-1, and here's Jed Morris. Cruz on at first base. First pitch to Jed Morris. Mitch is outside, ball 1. Jed Morris playing in his second straight game, doing the catching for the A's. His average at .264, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. Davidson from the belt, throws over to first base. Cruz gets back, standing up. 2-1 Modesto lead. Davidson with the 1-0 pitch. It's taken inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Both those runs would be earned. Lloyd Turner led off the inning with a reaching on an error, but then he was picked off or thrown out trying to steal. 2-0 pitch. That gets the outside corner for a strike. 2-1. Ethier hit by a pitch. Myers with a base hit, and after Marino grounded out, moving him to second and third, and Cruz drove them both home with a single. Throw over to first base. Again, Cruz gets back. A's have their first lead of the series. They trailed yesterday until Stavisky brought him back with the winning run in the 9th inning. There's a strike call. And they were behind the entire game on Tuesday as they lost 10-6. Rubber game of the series, and A's have their first lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch. Morris takes it 1-1 away. The count is full, 3-2. Jed Morris out of the University of Nebraska. His folks live in Ripon, so that's where he calls home now. 3-2 pitch is a line drive up the middle into center field for a base hit. Cruz around second base, headed for third. Willits up at the ball, gets it back in. It's a base hit for Jed Morris. A's have runners at first and third base. That's the third hit of the inning. And the batter will be Omar Quintanilla. And heading out to the mound is the pitching coach for the Quakes, Keith Comstock, as Daniel Davidson struggling through the first inning against the Athletics. At the conclusion of tonight's ball game, we'll be selecting the Yonens player of the game. For all of your jewelry needs, head down to Yonens Jewelers, located at 2485 Gear Road in Turlock, or in the new store at 1809 McHenry Avenue in the Safeway Shopping Center in Modesto. That's Yonens Jewelers, proud sponsors of the Modesto A's, and diamonds everywhere. Yesterday's Yonens player of the game was Brian Stavisky. Stavisky with an RBI single in the 5th inning that brought the A's to within 6-5. And then a sacrifice fly in the 9th inning to win it on a Dare Day morning game. We started at 11 o'clock yesterday. And Stavisky sent them all home happy, winning it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's Omar Quintanilla Left-handed batter up here against Davidson. First pitch is a high chopper out towards the mound. Davidson has it. His throw to first base is in time. Quintanilla is retired 1-3, and the A's go down in the first. They pick up 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. We've played 1. Modesto leading Rancho Cucamonga 2-1. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. We've played 1, and the A's have a 2-1 lead. A 2-run single by Nelson Cruz, driving home Andre Ethier and Casey Myers. A's get 3 hits off of Daniel Davidson in the bottom half of the first inning and erase a 1-0 deficit. In the second inning for Rancho, it'll be Greg Porter, Ryan Buddy, and David Gates, 5, 6, 7 hitters up here against Tomas Cabanal. Greg Porter, the third baseman, had a pair of hits in yesterday's ball game, including a home run. He's batting .319, 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Cabanal's first pitch to him misses high and outside, ball 1. Porter hit his home run, a solo shot in the 5th inning. Swung on, fouled off left side, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yesterday's ball game, the Quakes got 3 runs off Darryl McCall in the first, 2 in the second. Had a 5-1 lead after they batted in the second inning. Pitch misses low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. A's scored an unearned run in each of the first 3 innings. Pair of errors by yesterday's third baseman, Adam Pavkovich. And then an error on the first baseman, who was Greg Porter, yesterday. 2-1 pitch. Porter hit the ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit. Second hit for Rancho. Porter leads off the second. He's on at first base. And the batter is the catcher, Ryan Buddy. Buddy, right-handed batter, hitting .234. 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Buddy did not play in yesterday's ball game as Napoli was doing the catching. He caught the game on Tuesday night when Joe Saunders was pitching. He was hitless in 3 official trips to the plate. Swings and fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. The A's come into the ball game with a 23-17 record. They still have that 1-game lead over the San Jose Giants as San Jose won yesterday. They beat Bakersfield 2-0. O'Brien Stern picking up the victory for San Jose. With the win yesterday, the A's went 1 game over 500 at home. They're now 11-10. They're 12-7 on the road this season. 0-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike called. 0-2. Rancho at 19-19. They're 5 games off the pace in the Southern Division behind the Inland Empire 66ers. Throw over to first base, and the runner gets back. If you talk about some of the long names, the Inland Empire 66ers of San Bernardino. They expect us to say that every time we mention them? I barely get to the 66ers part. Formerly the San Bernardino Stampede. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's hit in the air to center field. Marcus Macbeth coming in from right, and he makes the catch. Ball hit in shallow right center field. Marcus Macbeth got a good read on it. He was the first one there making the catch. Buddy is retired. 1 out, 1 on. The batter is David Gates. David Gates hitting .293, 9 home runs and 35 runs batted in. And he's been stinging the ball of late for Rancho. Hitting .351 over his last 10 games with 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Runner at first base is Greg Porter. Cabanel turns and throws over there. Porter gets back. Porter has not stolen a base this season. He's been caught twice. It's a Rancho team with 58 stolen bases on the season. That's 2 behind the league leader, High Desert. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Gates. The A's with 20 stolen bases. And that is the fewest in the league. They've only been caught 12 times. Doing a lot more running this season than they did last. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's swung on and fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gates with a .610 slugging percentage. 3rd best in the California League. Behind his teammate, Michael Napoli. His 10 doubles lead the squad. Right-hander batter from Huntsville, Alabama. Runner goes, pitch is swung on, hit in the air to center field. Andre Ethier going back, pulls up, and makes the catch. Hustling back to first base as the throw comes in as Porter, as Ethier throws it all the way into Colin Marino on a hop. Gates flies out to center field. There's 2 outs now, and the batter is Jason Sudgen.
Now batting right fielder number 23, Jason Sudgen.
Jason Sudgen playing in his first game of the series, hitting .213, no home runs and 5 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. Cabanel's pitch. And this is low. 1-0. Sugden out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 35th round draft pick in the 2002 draft out of East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina. Played 1 game for Rancho last season. Spent most of it, the rest of the season at Cedar Rapids. Pitch misses high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Sugden hit .304 in 21 games. No home runs and 7 runs batted in. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch is swung on and fouled off. Sunline now has moved out to about second base. Pitcher and batter both in the shade. Cabanel from the stretch and the pitch. That misses outside. believe the count's 3-2. Scoreboard says 3-1. Runner at first base is Porter. Turn a throw over there, and the runner gets back. Plugged in from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They have an Eastern League club there, the Harrisburg Senators. The league that Gary Thomas is playing in this season at the Altoona Curve. Runner goes on 3-2. Check has a 3-1 and for the second base is in time. Porter thrown out trying to steal, and that retires the side. In the second inning for Rancho, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. Nobody left on base. After 1.5, it's Modesto 2 and Rancho Cucamonga 1. Listen to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Second inning, Marcus McBeth leading off for the A's, and the first pitch from Daniel Davidson's in there for a called strike, 0-1. 2-1, Modesto on top. McBeth to be followed by Isaac Garcia and Lloyd Turner. 8-9-1 hitters up here against Daniel Davidson. Next pitch misses low in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Marcus McBeth hitting .213, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. Swings and misses. 1-2. Marcus been hitting the ball well of late. .385 in his last 7 games. Curveball misses high. 2-2. Marcus did not play in yesterday's ball game. 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. McBeth is out on strikes. Tried to check his swing and could not. Went around about 3/4. First strikeout for Davidson. 1 out. The batter is Isaac Garcia.
Now batting third baseman number 4, Isaac Garcia.
Isaac Garcia hitting .227, no home runs and 11 runs batted in. Right-handed hitting third baseman. And the first pitch was in there for a strike called, 0-1. Garcia led off the 9th inning yesterday with a hustle double. Line drive in the left field. And Gates going over towards the line to field it, and Garcia dug out 2. There's a strike call, 0-2. He came in to score a tying run on Ethier's base hit, and then Ethier came in to score on Stavisky's game-winning sac fly. Pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia's been heating up offensively. He had a 3-hit game in Bakersfield over the weekend. 1-2 pitches, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Still looks kind of cold here. Second strikeout for Davidson. 2 outs to go top of the order in Lloyd Turner.
Number 3, Lloyd Turner.
Turner reached on an error his first time up and then was thrown out trying to steal. He broke for second base, and Davidson went over to first base with Davidson on the move, and he was thrown out at second. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Davidson has pitched better than, well, he's only had 2 decisions out of his 8 starts. There's a foul ball back this way to our right. 1-1 to Turner. Davidson, born in Panama City, currently makes his home in Lynn Haven, Florida. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That misses inside. 2-1. Went to school, former schoolmate of Darryl McCall in Pensacola. McCall says, I've hit several bombs off of that kid. 2-1 pitch, swung on, fouled off right side, out of play. Davidson and McCall played ball together in middle school in Pensacola. And Davidson also a college teammate of the A's, Matt Lynch. He was in the rotation with Matt Lynch and Trent Peterson, who's now playing down at Kane County in the A's organization. This one comes inside, almost hit him. Count is full, 3-2. Won his first game of the season at his last start on Friday against the Inland Empire 66ers of San Bernardino. Lines with the 3-2 pitch, and Turner hits a line drive into center field for a base hit. Davidson had to duck his head out of the way of that one. Almost lost his noggin. That's the 4th A's hit. Turner's on at first base with 2 outs. The batter is Andre Ethier.
Now batting center fielder number 14, Andre Ethier.
Andre Ethier hit by a pitch his first time up, hit by a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. He came in to score the A's first run. Takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Davidson's throwing a lot of pitches. He went 3-2 on Ethier. Casey Myers' base hit came in a 3-2 pitch. And Turner's base hit here in the second comes in a 3-2. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Ethier. And Davidson's start on May 8th against Lake Elsinore, he pitched 7 innings. Gave up a run on 6 hits. Pitch misses low. 3 balls and no strikes. The Quakes ended up winning that game 7-1 in 11 innings. This one's low and outside. Ball 4. Ethier walks on base for the second time tonight. Turner goes to second. And the batter is Casey Myers. Casey Myers with a base hit his first time up to get the A's first hit in the first inning.
Number 22, Casey Myers.
Came in to score on Nelson Cruz's 2-run single. Turner at second, Ethier on at first. And Turner thrown down to second base, and diving back to the bag is Turner. Second baseman B.J. Weed coming over to take the throw. Myers waits at the plate. Davidson comes set. And the pitch. Misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Final game of this series, the Bakersfield Blaze come into town tomorrow night. Start a 4-game series over the weekend, stretching into Monday. 1-0 pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. A's will be seeing Mark Camoli, the knuckleball pitcher, on Friday night. Third time they faced Camoli this season. Davidson comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Myers swings and misses. Just foul tipped it into the net. 2-1. Casey starting the season at Double-A Midland. He's playing in his 10th game for the A's, and he's been helping spark this offense. 2-1 pitch, misses inside. It's 3-1. Casey spent all of last year here in Modesto and batted .300 for the season. Says in the off-season he put himself in a bubble to avoid any injuries. Spent some time in the DL last year. 3-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off, up off the lights behind the A's dugout. And then bounces, drops down into the stands, and a fan grabs it. Right off one of the lights up there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners will be going. Davidson comes set. And the pitch. Myers fouls it back to the screen. Count remains full, 3-2. Casey's found himself in the number 3 spot in the batting order of late. 5'11", 210 pounds, 9th round draft pick by the A's in the 2001 draft. Casey, born in Mesa, Arizona, makes his home in Phoenix. Dad's a baseball coach. Community college in Arizona. There go the runners, and the pitch misses outside. Ball 4. Myers walks to load the bases. 2 walks in the inning. 3 overall, and here comes Keith Comstock again. To attack Daniel Davidson as he's struggling here in the early going. Guests on the A's pregame show receive a free lunch at the Velvet Grill and Creamery with 2 locations in Modesto, 3250 Dale Road and 2204 McHenry Avenue. Open daily from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till 11 p.m. Velvet Grill and Creamery is an all-American diner. Come for the ice cream and stay for the food. Now, Brian Stavisky was the latest recipient of a free lunch from the Velvet Grill and Creamery, as we had Brian on the pregame show today, talking about his very successful day yesterday with 3 RBIs, including the game winner in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Here's Brent Colamarino stepping up to the plate with the bases loaded, and 2 out in the 2nd inning. Opportunity to really put some distance between the A's and the Quakes right here. Colamarino is a big power source for the A's this season. And Davidson starts him off with a curveball. It's called strike 1. Colamarino hitting .333 at 6th best in the California League. 8 home runs and 26 RBIs. Leads the A's with his 8 home runs. He's 4th in the league. 0-1 pitch. That gets the outside part of the plate, I guess. No balls and 2 strikes to Colamarino. That looked kind of wide. Colamarino 4th in the league with a .574 slugging percentage. 9th in the league with a .425 on-base percentage. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he takes this one inside and hit him. Colamarino grazed by the pitch, and he'll go down to first base, and Turner will come in to score. A's lead 3-1, 27th RBI of the season for Brant Colamarino. Second batter that Davidson has hit, and this one cost him.
Cruz.
on an 0-2 pitch. He hits Colin Marino. He had a 3-2 count on Ethier when he hit him. Ethier's on at third, Myers at second, Colin Marino at first, and here's Nelson Cruz. Davidson's pitch, swung on, line drive, off the glove of shortstop Aybar and into center field. In the score is Ethier. Myers coming in, he will score. Cruz going for two, he's in safely. It's a double. 2 runs in, and the A's lead it 5-1. Cruz hustling all the way to stretch that into a double. Myers came in to score from second base for Nelson Cruz. That's RBIs number 21 and 22. Check that, 23 and 24. As he drives in his third and fourth runs of the game. Here's Jed Morris. And a pitch. In there for a strike call, 0-1. Colin Marino's over at third base now. Jed Morris singled his first time up. All this happening with 2 outs. Morris pops it up in the infield. Davidson off the mound. The catcher, Buddy, down the first baseline. He juggles the ball, but he hangs on. And Buddy makes the catch. Morris pops out to the catcher, and that retires the side. In the second inning for Modesto, they pick up 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We've played 2. Modesto leads Rancho Cucamonga 5-1. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Now we go top half of the third inning. Tomas Cabanal now has himself a 5-1 lead to work with. He'll be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Jason Sugden, B.J. Weed, and Reggie Willits. 5 runs on 5 hits for the A's, 1 run on 2 hits for Rancho. Nelson Cruz with 4 runs batted in with a pair of hits today. Jason Sugden was up at the plate when Porter was thrown out trying to steal to end the second inning. And the first pitch to him misses, ball 1. Sugden had a 3-2 count on him at the time. Pitch was a strike. It was going to be a 3-2 count, and Porter was thrown out trying to steal. There's a ground ball to second base. Turner up with it. Throw to first is in time. Sugden grounds out to second base, 1 away, and the batter is B.J. Weed.
Now batting, second baseman number 4, B.J. Weed.
B.J. Weed, switch hitting second baseman, coming up here batting left-handed against Tomas Cabanal. Weed hitting .286 with a home run and 14 runs batted in. He is 1 for 4 yesterday. On Tuesday, he had a pair of doubles in the game, including a 2-run double in the 8th inning. Ground ball, first base, Colamarino has it, throws to Cabanel, covering the bag in time. Nice play by Colamarino, who had the range to his right to pick that one up. And Cabanel quickly off the mound to come over and cover the bag. 3-1. There's 2 outs, and the batter is Reggie Willits. Reggie Willits, center fielder, steps up. He's single leading off the ball game. Came in to score the Quakes run. Cabanel's pitch to him. Gets the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Willits stole second base and then went to third on a throwing error by the catcher. And came in to score when Napoli hit a fly ball down the right field line that first baseman Colamarino had to catch. Pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Well, it's a .260 batting average, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Swings and misses. It's 1-2. He leads the club with 19 walks. And he's second on the team with 14 stolen bases. His 14 steals are third best in the California League. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cabanel goes into the windup. And the pitch. That misses low, 2-2. Well, it's tied for the team lead with 29 runs scored. Cabanel rocks into the motion and throws 2-2. That misses low, and the count is full. 3-2. Cabanel, just 21 years old, out of Venezuela. Colamarino now moves off the line a little bit at first base. 3-2 pitch is grounded to second base. Turner has it. Throws to Colamarino in time. 4-3 in the putout, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tomas Cabanel. We go to the bottom of the third with Modesto leading Rancho 5-1. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. In the bottom half of the third inning, Omar Quintanilla will be leading it off for the A's. He'll be followed by Marcus McBeth and Isaac Garcia. Lower third of the batting order up here against Daniel Davidson. A's leading 5-1. And Davidson's first pitch to Quintanilla in there for a strike called 0-1. Quintanilla grounded back to the pitcher his first time up, hit a high chopper to the left side of the mound, and Davidson threw him out. 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 0-2. 4 RBIs for Nelson Cruz today. First inning single and a second inning double. A's lead at 5-1. Pitch misses outside. 1-2 to Quintanilla. The double by Cruz was his 16th of the season. That leads the California League. He also leads the league in extra base hits. 1-2 pitch, swung on, grounded to second base. B.J. Weed up with it, throws to first in time. Quintanilla is retired, 4-3. One out, and the batter is Marcus McBeth. Marcus McBeth struck out his first time up. Davidson struck out the first two batters in the second inning. Pitch comes inside, ball one. And then a single by Turner, a walk to Ethier and Myers. He hit Colomarino to force in a run, and then Cruz drove in two with a double. There's a strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike to Marcus McBeth. Next pitch is swung on, hit in the air to deep left center field. Gates and Willits going hard. Willits looking up. This one is off the wall. McBeth to second base. He takes the turn. He's going for 3, and he will make it standing with a triple. Marcus McBeth pounds one off the wall just to the right of the 393 mark in the power alley in left center field. He smoked that one. And he's on at third base with a triple. That's his second triple of the season. A's have a runner at third base with 1 out, and the batter is Isaac Garcia. Garcia struck out his first time up. Rancho's going to bring the infield in. And the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. Garcia struck out his first time up. 5-1, Modesto leads. Porter at third, Aybar at short, Weed at second. Pitch is fouled off, out of play. Napoli at first, all in on the edge of the grass. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Isaac Garcia. That's the 6th hit for the A's. And there's a chopper, foul, third base side. 1-2. Isaac Garcia, 6 for his last 17 now. Trying to get on track offensively. 1-2. There's a ground ball. It's a fair ball down a first baseline. And staying at third is McBeth. And Garcia doesn't think it was a fair ball, but it was played by Napoli, and he tags the bag, and Garcia is out 3 unassisted. Bouncing ball on the first baseline. Garcia thought it was going to be foul. He ran it out. But he's out, and we go top of the order in Lloyd Turner. First pitch to Turner, misses outside, ball 1. Bottom of the third inning, A's leading 5-1. It's 2 outs. Marcus McBeth is on at third base with a 1-out triple. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Turner hits a high chopper, left side, cut off by the third baseman Porter. His throw to first base is in time. Turner is retired 5-3, and the A's are retired in the third inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We've played 3. Modesto leads Rancho 5-1. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. We go top half of the fourth inning. Modesto leading Rancho 5-1. Erick Aybar, Michael Napoli, and Jared Abruzzo, 2, 3, 4 hitters for Rancho, will be up here against Tomas Cabanal. 5 runs on 6 hits for the A's, 1 run, 2 hits for Rancho. Erick Aybar, switch hitter up here batting left-handed against Cabanal. Aybar second in the league with a .368 batting average. Flew out to left field his first time up. Cabanal's pitch misses low, ball 1. Aybar with 3 hits in yesterday's ball game, 3 for 5. He had a single, a double, and a triple. 2 runs batted in, and he scored 2 times. 1-0 pitch, ground ball left side in the left field for a base hit. Aybar with his 54th base hit of the season, that also leads the league. Leads off the fourth inning with the 3rd hit for Rancho. That brings up Michael Napoli. You'd have to assume that no lead is safe against this team. They got some guys who can rake. Napoli's one of them. Sacrifice fly in the first inning. Scored Reggie Willits for the Quakes' only run. Napoli, the league leader in home runs and runs batted in the California League. First pitch is in there for a strike called, 0-1. Napoli, a 17th round draft pick in the 2000 free agent draft. Big right-handed batter. 6 feet, 205 pounds. Runner goes. Pitch bounces up there, and safe at second base is Aybar on the steal. For Erick Aybar, that is his team-leading 21st stolen base of the season. Second steal in 3 attempts for Rancho tonight. They stole 4 bases on Tuesday. 1-1 pitch to Napoli. Swings and hits a ground ball to shortstop. Quintanilla has it. His throw to first is in time. Napoli retired 6-3 as Aybar goes to third. Going to bring up Jared Abruzzo. So Aybar ran himself into scoring position, then they stay out of the double play. And rather than having 2 outs, they have a runner at third base with 1 out. That's good aggressive base running. And this Rancho team that likes to run. Jared Abruzzo grounded out to first base his first time up. Switch hitter up here batting left-handed against Cabanal. First pitch is swung on and foul back to the screen, strike 1. Rancho only stole 1 base yesterday, and they were caught 1 time. Melgarejo was caught trying to steal in the 4th inning. Reggie Willits had 1 steal yesterday. No balls and a strike to Abruzzo. Cabanal's pitch. Fastball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Abruzzo, who was drafted in the 2000 draft, and the following year the Angels drafted Jeff Mathis. There's a high chopper to first base. Colin Marino has it. He'll run to the bag and record the out himself as Aybar comes in to score. 3 unassisted and a run batted in for Abruzzo. Makes it a 5-2 ball game. And you have to give credit for that run to Aybar with the leadoff single, then a stolen base. Got himself over to third in the ground out by Napoli, and then scores on the high chop to first base by Abruzzo. Here's Greg Porter. He singled leading off the second inning, was caught trying to steal. Pitch misses low, ball 1. Porter had a home run in yesterday's ball game. 2 home runs in the series, Napoli and Porter. Here's a 1-0 pitch. There's a drive to center field. Ethier going back hard. It's over his head, and one hops the wall. Porter going into second, and he is there with a double. So Greg Porter with his second hit of the game. A 2-out double here in the 4th inning. And the batter is Ryan Buddy.
Remember, kids, don't forget, after tonight's game, we have post-game base race. For all you kids who want to run the bases, make sure to stay after the game. We will run the bases, including tonight's game.
Ryan Buddy flew out to right field his first time up. This is a big batter for Cabanal. You don't want to let Rancho get too much more into this game. Buddy swings and fouls it off. Strike 1. Buddy, a right-handed batter. And now a look back to it. Second base by Cabanal. Gets the runner back. Buddy from Midwest City, Oklahoma. 12th round draft pick in the 2001 draft. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Omar Quintanilla has it. His throw to first is in time. Buddy is retired, and so are the Quakes in the 4th. They pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a run left on base. After 3.5, Modesto leads Rancho 5-2. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field in Modesto. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The A's leading 5-2. Andre Ethier will be leading it off from Modesto. He'll be followed by Casey Myers and Brent Colamarino. 2, 3, 4 hitters up here against a new pitcher for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. It's David Austin. Austin making his second appearance of the series. His 15th appearance overall. He has no record of 5.50 ERA. He has 1 save. He's worked 18 innings, given up 28 hits and 17 runs. Walked 7 and struck out 12. Opponents have a .354 batting average against him. Right-hander from Coconut Creek, Florida. And he'll be facing the left-handed batting Andre Ethier to lead off the 4th inning. First pitch to Ethier is in there for a strike called, 0-1. Ethier has been hit by a pitch and walked. He has scored both times. 5 runs on 6 hits for the A's, 2 runs on 4 hits for Rancho. Ethier fouls this one off into the A's dugout. Grabbed by Omar Quintanilla in the front row there. Rolls it over the dugout to a fan. No balls, 2 strikes to Ethier. Austin winds, and the pitch is swung on, foul back to the screen. Count remains 0-2. Austin, 22 years old, 6 feet 185 pounds. 15th round draft pick in the 2003 draft out of the University of South Florida in Tampa. 0-2 pitch. Just misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lights are on here at John Thurman Field, just starting to take effect. Sun has set, and we are into that twilight time. Swinging a foul ball, just got a piece of it. And Ethier stays alive. It's 1-2. Austin pitched all of last year in Provo, Utah. Posted a 4-2 record and a 1.85 ERA. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that misses outside. 2-2. Provo, Utah are in the Pioneer League. It's rookie ball. Austin skipping a level to come up here to the Quakes. Fouled off left side, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Andre Ethier. Pitched in 43 2/3 innings at Provo in 3 starts and 20 relief appearances. This one misses outside, and the count is full, 3-2. Andre Ethier leading off the 4th inning. A's with a 5-2 lead. Austin's full count pitch, curveball, is fouled off. Count remains full. Daniel Davidson goes 3 innings tonight. Gives up 5 runs on 6 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 2. 3-2 pitch. Ethier fouls it off left side. Ethier battling David Austin here leading off the 4th inning for Modesto. Rubber game of this 3-game series. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Ethier fouls it off again. That's 6 foul balls off the bat of Andre Ethier. First batter that David Austin faces tonight. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Got him in a fastball in the inside corner at the knees. Ethier is retired. 1 out, and the batter is Casey Myers.
Batting for the A's, designated hitter number 22, Casey Myers.
Austin pitched a 1/3 of an inning on Tuesday night here. First pitch to Myers. That's a fastball strike called in the outside corner. 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch. That misses low and outside. Austin faced 3 batters. One pitch. That misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Check that. 4 batters. He gave up 3 hits and a run. There's a fly ball right side. Foul and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They gave up hits to Swami, Cruz, and Stavisky while getting Quintanilla to fly out. After the base hit by Stavisky, he was lifted. 2-2 pitch, up and in. Leans Casey back. The count is full, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Casey Myers. Base is empty. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Austin strikes out Casey Myers. Strikes out the first 2 batters he faces. And up steps Brent Colamarino.
Now batting first base number 23, Brent Colamarino.
Colamarino has grounded out, and he was hit by a pitch in the second inning with the bases loaded. Fastball comes inside, ball 1. Colamarino has really rounded out offensively, putting together an outstanding season. There's a strike called. 0-2. Brandt, who started the season slowly, but with the numbers he put up in Kane County last year, really expecting him to hit. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the A's first baseman. Austin goes into the windup, and the pitch. Swung on. There's a fly ball to center field. Coming in hard is Reggie Willits. He gets there and makes the catch, and that retires aside. Colamarino flies out to center field. 3 up, 3 down for the A's in the 4th. We've played for Modesto, leading Rancho 5-2. You listen to A's baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. We go top half of the 5th inning. David Gates leading it off for Rancho. He'll be followed by Jason Sugden and B.J. Weed, lower third of the batting order, up here against Tomas Cabanel. A's on top, 5-2. Gates flew out to center field his first time up, and the first pitch misses low, ball one. Gates having an outstanding season for the Quakes. He's been ripping the ball. 9 home runs and 35 runs batted in. He and Napoli are really a 1-2 punch, so they don't bat 1-2 in the batting order. Pitch misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. But Gates in his first full season with Rancho, he split his time last year between Cedar Rapids and Rancho Cucamonga. Right-handed batter out of the University of Alabama. Pitch misses outside, 3-0. Cabanal has limited the Quakes to 4 hits. They got 2 last inning when they scored their second run. Right-hander with the 3-0 delivery. Swung on and missed. Going on 3-0, and he misses. 3-1. Quakes left the runner on base for the first time in the 4th inning. 3 balls and a strike. A's trying to win here so they can stay ahead of the red-hot San Jose Giants. 3-1 pitch is popped up, foul territory. Jed Morris, the catcher, coming over, but that one's going to get up into the seats. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Giants won again yesterday. They beat Bakersfield 2-0. Brian Sturm got the win, pitched 6 shutout innings. Gave up just 3 hits and 1 walk. Joe Little, the loser, he's now 1-4. Brad Varicker had the lone run batted in the game for San Jose. 3-2 pitch is a line drive, 1 hopper. Colin Marino smothers it at first, gets to his feet, and runs to the bag to record the out. 1 away. 3 unassisted. The batter is Jason Sugden. 2-0 San Jose over Bakersfield. They remain a game behind the Athletics. San Jose now 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've won 3 in a row. Here's Jason Sugden. Grounded to second base his first time up. Inland Empire beat the High Desert Mavericks yesterday, 4-3. San Bernardino's squad getting a run in the 8th inning off of Bradley for the win. Pitch misses outside, ball 1. Sandoval started for the Inland Empire, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, and then the bullpen came in and didn't allow a hit the rest of the way. Smith got the win, he's 2-0, and Martinez got the save. Each of them pitching 2 innings. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hinton had a home run for High Desert. 4-3, Inland Empire over High Desert. And the Inland Empire maintains their 2-game lead over Lancaster for first place in the Southern Division. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's hit on the ground into left field for a base hit. Jason Sugden with his first hit of the night, the 5th for Rancho. He's on at first base, and the batter is B.J. Weed. Lake Elsinore beat Lancaster last night 6-0. Eddie Bonney was the winner. He's 2-1. 6 in the 3rd innings, a shutout ball. Gave up 5 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Eddie Bonney, the winner over Lancaster last night. Adam Bass, the loser. He's 2-3. Lancaster now 2 games behind the Inland Empire 66ers of San Bernardino in the Southern Division. There's a strike call. 0-1 to Weed. Stockton beat Visalia 9-5. Jose Garcia, the winner, he's 2-1. Doug Johnson, the loser, 1-5. Nate Gold had a home run. Throw over to first base. Runner gets back. Nate Gold and Chris Hiley homering for Stockton as they beat Visalia 9-5. Visalia 5.5 games back. Stockton 6 games behind the first place Athletics. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tonight's game, Inland Empire is at High Desert. Bobby Livingston going for his 7th victory against Khaled Ballou. Cabanal with the 1-1 pitch. And it's fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lake Elsinore is at Lancaster. David Pauly going against Keith Waitley. Stockton at Visalia. West Littleton going for the Ports against Jonathan Asina. Bakersfield is at San Jose. Throw over to first base, and the runner gets back. And down in High Desert, that's the final score. The High Desert Mavericks beating the Inland Empire 12-2 today. Throw over to first again, the runner gets back. Baluli, the winner for High Desert, beating Bobby Livingston for the first time. Bobby Livingston, with 6 victories, gets his first loss. Home run by Inland Empire. Guzman is first. Cho is first. Boyd hit his first for High Desert. Pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to B.J. Weed. Pete Rasmussen for High Desert was 2 for 4 with a triple and a double and 3 runs batted in. High Desert beats the Inland Empire, beating their ace, Bobby Livingston, 12-2. Cabanal with the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, fouled off. First base side. And we'll do that one again as the count remains even at B.J. Weeds. Sugden was running on the pitch. Now, Lancaster unable to take advantage of the Inland Empire loss as they lose to Lake Elsinore 11-7. And Lake Elsinore now moves to within 2 games of Inland Empire, tied with Lancaster for second place. Pauly, the winners, 2-3. Watley, the loser, he's 1-3. Cabanal steps off the rubber. Boy, when you get runners on base against Tomas Cabanal, he really slows down the pace of things. B.J. Weed's been up here for about 90 minutes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is a slow line drive into left field for a base hit. A good at-bat by B.J. Weed. He singles. 6th hit for Rancho. 2 runners aboard. We'll go top of the order, and Reggie Willits. And Tomas Cabanal is in a little bit of trouble here, as he's getting into the dangerous part of this batting order. He's got a 3-run lead, but that could evaporate very quickly, especially against this guy, Reggie Willits. Willits has singled and grounded out. He's stolen a base and scored a run. Erick Aybar is on deck. Cabanal steps off the rubber, looking to run it back to second base. That's Jason Sugden. In the top half of the 6th inning, Stockton is leading Visalia 8-3. First pitch is swung on, fly ball, right field. Marcus McBeth is there to make the catch, and he fires the ball into third base on the fly. What a throw by Marcus McBeth in right field. Sugden at second base tagged up and bluffed like he was going to go to third, and Marcus McBeth delivered the ball. He couldn't have handed it any cleaner to Isaac Garcia at third base. 2 outs, and the batter is Erick Aybar. Marcus McBeth, what an arm in that kid. Erick Aybar is flied out to left field and singled. He scored a run. Boy, he just makes that look so effortless. First pitch to Erick Aybar is inside, ball 1. Top of the 6th inning, Bakersfield leading San Jose tonight 2-0. And those are your scores in the California League tonight. So things tightening up in the South. Cabanal looks back to its second base. Rancho at 19-19, 5 games back. They can move to within 4 games of first place with a win here tonight. 1-0 pitch. Inside with the fastball. It's 2-0. Talked to Marcus McBeth about the possibility of being a pitcher. And he says he enjoys playing every day. He enjoys hitting. He wants to be an everyday player. But you see that arm. Well, it's a shame about this whole designated hitter thing that you can't pitch and bat. That changes the game. Cabanal, aware of the runner at second base, keeps stepping off the rubber. 2 balls and no strikes to Erick Aybar. Aybar with 3 hits in the game last night. Leads the California League with 53 base hits. Fastball misses low. It's 3-0. Aybar has played 37 of the 40 games for Rancho. Leads the club with 29 runs scored. And also with 20 stolen bases. Switch hitter. His pitch misses low, ball 4. Aybar walks to load the bases, and the batter is Michael Napoli.
Now batting for the Quakes, first baseman number 12, Michael Napoli.
Well, here's a real test for Tomas Cabanal. There's 2 outs. Sugden's at third, Weed at second, and Aybar at first. And the leading home run hitter and run producer in the California League, Michael Napoli, is up at the plate. Napoli has a sacrifice fly and a ground out. First pitch, swung on, foul back to the screen, strike 1. Cabanal with a good 2-seam fastball that has some good dip to it. And that's what he wants to be throwing to Napoli here. You don't want to get the ball up to him because he'll lose it. Wind is blowing out to left field. Oh and 1. Cabanal comes set. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. A's leading at 5-2. Rancho scored a run in the first and 1 in the fourth. A's with 2 in the first and 3 in the second. Nelson Cruz at 4 runs batted in tonight. Michael Napoli up here at the bases loaded. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Cabanal looks in for the sign from Jed Morris. Now comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, he just got a piece of it, fouling it off. Oh, he almost had him. But Napoli just got a piece of that and fouled it off right at the plate. The count remains 0-2. Situation where Scott Emerson would probably like Cabanal to come in with that changeup here. especially with an 0-2 count. But against Napoli, on 0-2, I wouldn't be throwing anything over the plate here. Here it comes. Fastball outside. 1-2. That's way outside. Morris had to reach out for it. Napoli's not going to swing at that. You want to get something just off the black, especially if it's a fastball that Napoli's probably looking for in this situation. 1-2. Cabanel's pitch. Fastball. That was a good pitch. Just missed outside. Napoli wasn't biting. It's 2-2. It's getting chilly here at John Thurman Field. We're down to like 64 degrees. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Napoli. Cabanel with the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him with a curveball. Napoli strikes out, and that retires the side. In the 5th inning for Rancho, no runs, 2 hits, 3 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning with Modesto leading Rancho 5-2. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. We got the bottom half of the 5th inning. Nelson Cruz leading it off for the A's. He'll be followed by Jed Morris and Omar Quintanilla. 5-2. Modesto on top. Dave Austin still out on the mound, and the first pitch to Cruz misses ball 1. Nelson Cruz with a single and a double and 4 runs batted in. Austin's next pitch, high fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Tomas Cabanel doing a great job striking out the dangerous Michael Napoli with the bases loaded. Pitch misses low. But boy, does he work slow. He takes his time out there. He's not in a hurry to go anywhere. 3-0 pitch misses low. Cruz walks. So Cruz on base for the 3rd time tonight, leading off the 5th inning. Now to bring up Jed Morris. Jed Morris has singled and popped up. Left-handed batter up here against David Austin with a runner at first base. First pitch is low, and gunning down to first base is the catcher, Ryan Buddy. And diving back in is Nelson Cruz. Cruz at 4 stolen bases in the season. He's got good speed, and he likes to show it off. Walks off to his lead. Austin comes set. And Cruz runs. Pitch misses outside. Throw to second base is not in time. Cruz steals his 5th base of the season. And he's in scoring position. It's a 1-ball-and-1-strike count to Jed Morris. That pitch was outside. Austin comes set. And the pitch. Swung on. Fouled off left side, out of play. Up over the light standing in left field. 1-2 to Jed Morris. Pair of base hits and a walk in the 5th inning. And Cabanel coming back and striking out Michael Napoli. His first strikeout of the game. Curveball is grounded foul, first base side, skips up into the seats. Count remains 1-2. Austin comes set. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Morris goes down swinging. Third strikeout for David Austin. 1 away, and the batter is Omar Quintanilla. Omar Quintanilla is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Left-handed batter up here, the runner at second base, and this is where Quintanilla shines. It runs the scoring position. Swings and fouls this one off. Strike 1. Quintanilla, in his last 10 games, 10 for 39 for 256 batting average, with 10 runs batted in. Look back to at second base in the 0-1 pitch. That misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quintanilla, first-round draft pick of the A's last season, taken number 33rd overall. 22 years old, out of the University of Texas. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That misses low. 2-1. Quintanilla began his professional career at Vancouver last year after being drafted. Played 32 games there, batting .341, then came to Modesto. Hit his first professional home run here. Two balls and 1 strike. And thrown on to second base, and it's wide. Aybar, shortstop, having to reach over to the right field side of the bag for that one as Cruz goes diving back in. Two balls and a strike to Quintanilla. Austin comes set. And Cruz breaks for third. Pitch misses low. Throw to third base is in time. Cruz is out at third base trying to steal. 2-5 on the putout. It's a 3-1 count to Quintanilla. So Cruz did a good job getting in a scoring position, but then got too greedy. And he was dead meat at third. Here comes a 3-1. Quintanilla hits a fly ball, right field, going to drop in for a base hit. 7th hit for the A's, first for Quintanilla. With 2 outs, the batter is Marcus McBeth. Marcus McBeth has struck out and tripled. Banged one off the left center field wall in third inning. Up here against David Austin, A's leading 5-2. He hits a ground ball left side and into left field for a base hit. Quintanilla to second base, and he'll stop there. A bouncing ball that got between Porter and Aybar on the left side. And McBeth has his second hit. Runners at first and second base. There's 2 outs, and the batter is Isaac Garcia. Isaac Garcia 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out. Up here, runners at first and second base. 2 outs in the 5th inning. A's leading at 5-2. Austin looks back to it second and throws. And curveball's in there for a strike, 0-1. And Garcia leaning away from that one. No balls, 1 strike. And the 0-1 pitch from Austin. Check swing and a pitch that's low and away, and he went around on that one. And it's 0-2. It appeared that Garcia checked the swing, but the home plate umpire gave him a strike on that one on the swing as the pitch was in the dirt. No balls, 2 strikes. Austin asks Buddy to run through the signs again. Now the right-hander comes set. Looks back to it second and throws. Fastball's inside. 1-2. A's with a come-from-behind victory last night, or yesterday afternoon, after losing the opener. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Just got a piece of that, fouling it off over in front of the A's dugout. Count remains 1-2. Austin from the stretch. 1-2 pitch to Garcia. Curveball, high chopper, left side. The third baseman, Porter, has it. Throw to first base is not in time. It gets away from the first baseman, and in the score is Quintanilla. It's going to be a base hit and an error of the third baseman. Garcia's safe at first base. Quintanilla comes in to score the A's 6th run. Macbeth goes to third. Eighth hit for Modesto. No RBI on the play as Quintanilla comes in to score and the error in the third baseman. So 6-2 Modesto lead now. Top of the order, and here's Lloyd Turner. Runners at first and third and 2 outs. The pitch. Fastball misses high, ball 1. Turner has reached on an error, singled, and grounded out. He scored a run in the 2nd inning. Check that, 9 hits for the A's now. Throw over to first base, and runner gets back. Macbeth deking down the line from third on the throw to first. 3 straight hits off of David Austin. None of them have been hit very hard by any means. Foul ball back this way. 1 ball, 1 strike. The base hit by Quintanilla is a soft fly ball into right center field. Macbeth had a seeing eye bouncer to the left side, and Garcia's with an infield hit. Throw over to first base, runner gets back. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Lloyd Turner. Austin comes set and delivers. Curveball's in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Daniel Davidson started tonight for Rancho. He went 3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, walked 3 and struck out 2. And he's getting a first run off of Austin here in the 5th. He had a 1-2-3 4th. Pitch bounces up there. Good block by Buddy. Staying at first base is Garcia. The trumpet sounds. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lloyd Turner. Austin comes set. And throw to first base. Diving back into the bag is Garcia. Two balls and 2 strikes. Fake to third, a look to first. Nothing happening there. What could he possibly be expecting with a 2-2 count and 2 outs? Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on a miss, strike 3. Turner goes down swinging, and that retires the side. 5th inning for the A's. They pick up a run on 3 hits, an error, and 2 runners left on base. We've played 5. Modesto leading Rancho 6-2. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. We move on to the 6th inning. Modesto leading Rancho Cucamonga 6-2. Jared Abruzzo will be leading off for Rancho. He'll be followed by Greg Porter and Ryan Buddy. 4, 5, 6 hitters up here against Tomas Cabanal. Six runs on 9 hits for Modesto, 2 runs on 6 hits for Rancho. Jared Abruzzo is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. He has a run batted in. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. Abruzzo, designated hitter. Switch hitter up here batting left-handed against Cabanal. And the next pitch is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Abruzzo, a catcher. They have 3 catchers on the roster for Rancho. Napoli, Abruzzo, and Ryan Buddy. Napoli playing at first base tonight. 1-1 pitch. Curveball's in there for a strike call. It's 1-2. Abruzzo is 22 years old. Out of El Cajun, California. Cabanal with the glove up in front of his face, getting the sign. Now goes into the windup and throws. Pitch misses outside. 2-2. I mentioned that Abruzzo was drafted a year before Jeff Mathis, but Mathis blew right by him. Mathis playing at Rancho Cucamonga last season. And he's moved up to Double-A Arkansas this year. There's a fly ball deep toward left center field. Nelson, Cruz, and Ethier going. It's Nelson Cruz reaching up. He can't get it. Bounces up over his glove. Abruzzo's in at second base, and he's going to hold up there with a double. A drive into the gap in left center field. Cruz unable to get it. Ethier over to back him up. Abruzzo's on at second base. That's the 7th hit for Rancho. And the batter is Greg Porter. Porter's 2 for 2. He has singled and doubled. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. Abruzzo played at Rancho Cucamonga in part of 2001 and 2002. But with Mathis here last year, he spent all of last year at Cedar Rapids. Pitches fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike to Greg Porter. Abruzzo expected to move up to Double-A last year. But with Mathis in the mix, there was no room for him. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off, 1-2. Doesn't have the catching ability that Jeff Mathis does, although he can hit. Hit 13 home runs in Cedar Rapids last year after hitting 16 for Rancho in 2002. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Greg Porter. Cabanal looks back towards second and throws. Pitch misses way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Porter put up a .305 batting average in Cedar Rapids last season with 4 home runs and 52 runs batted in. Played ball at Texas A&M. 45th round draft pick in 2001. 2-2 pitch. Misses high and outside. Count is full. Out of High School in Keller, Texas. Makes his home in Roanoke, Texas. 6'4", 225 pounds. He had 4 home runs last season, 52 RBIs. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That misses outside, ball 4. Porter walks. It's only the second walk allowed by Tomas Cabanal. And here comes Vaughn Hayes out of the dugout. And that's going to be in the line for Tomas Cabanal tonight. So we have a pitching change, a break in the action. We'll pause and be right back. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. New pitcher for the Modesto Athletics is right-hander Chris Shank. Shank comes into the game making his 17th appearance of the season. His record is 2-1 with a 2.25 ERA. He's worked 24 innings, given up 22 hits, and 9 runs. 6 of those have been earned. He has walked 6 and struck out 28. Opponents have a .244 batting average against him. Shank making his second appearance of the series against Rancho. He pitched in the game on Tuesday night in the series opener. He pitched 1 inning and retired. He gave up a base hit and then got Abruzzo to hit into a double play. He pitched the 9th inning and finished the game. Hard-throwing right-hander from Westminster, Massachusetts, out of Franklin Pierce College. Coming in here in relief of Tomas Cabanal. Cabanal goes 5+ innings. Gave up 7 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 runs. He's responsible for the 2 runners aboard here in the 6th inning. First batter he'll face is Ryan Buddy.
Now batting catcher number 6, Ryan Buddy.
Buddy is 0 for 2. He is flied out and grounded out. Shank gets the sign. And now he steps off the rubber. And he wants Jed Morris to run through the signs again. But now he tells him whatever he's going to do, he says, never mind, we'll just go back to what the original plan was. First pitch to Ryan Buddy. Swung on. There's a fly ball hit deep to left field. Going back on it is Cruz. At the warning track, he makes the catch. Abruzzo tags and goes to third base as the throw comes into second. Cullen Marino, good hustle. He's in the middle of the infield to back up the throw coming in. And there was no one covering the bag. Cullen Marino hustling over and covering second base. Good hustle by the A's first baseman. Buddy is retired in the fly ball to left field. Abruzzo goes to third. Porter's still at first. And the batter is David Gates. Gates is 0 for 2. He has flied out and grounded out. Not the same David Gates who was the lead singer of the 70s rock band Bread. First pitch to Gates, misses low, ball 1. But if a picture paints 1,000 words, Gates was hitless in last night's ball game. He had a sacrifice fly. Sac fly situation here with 1 out. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. He really pulled off that one. He was looking for all the marbles that time. One ball, 1 strike. Gates had an RBI triple in the 8th inning of Tuesday's game when he went 2 for 4 and scored 2 times. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shank's pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Blew another fastball by him. Generally what Shank does when he comes out of the bullpen, comes out throwing gas. He'll mix in a curveball or a slider occasionally, and sometimes he'll do it early, just to keep everybody honest. Stay ahead of the scouting report. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is hit in the air to right field. Marcus McBeth going back on it. Tagging is Abruzzo at third. McBeth makes the catch, and the throw comes into second as Abruzzo scores. Sacrifice fly for David Gates makes it a 6-3 ball game. Ball was hit to pretty deep right field. McBeth didn't have a play at the plate. And, of course, we all want to see that arm in use. But he made the right play and threw to second to keep Porter at first. For David Gates, that is his 36th RBI of the season. He's second in the California League. Here's Jason Sugden. Shank working with a runner at first base. First pitch, fastball fouled off, strike one. Rancho scored first in the ball game against Tomas Cabanyal. Reggie Willits led off with a base hit, stole second, went to second base on an error, and came in on Michael Napoli's sacrifice fly. A's responded with two in the first and a two-run single by Nelson Cruz. They got three more in the second with Cruz driving in two with a double. There's a fly ball hit to right field. That's hit deep, but Marcus McBeth is going to have a play on it, backpedaling. He makes the catch, and that retires the side. Sixth inning for Rancho. They pick up a run on a hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Modesto leading Rancho 6-3. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970.
Adam Garcia, please report to the Tony Rose Guest Service Counter. Adam Garcia, please report to the Tony Rose Guest Service Counter. Thank you.
Bottom half of the sixth inning. Andre Ethier will be leading it off for the A's. He'll be followed by Casey Myers and Brant Colamarino. 2-3-4 hitters up here against the new pitcher for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, right-hander James Carroll. Carroll making his second appearance of the series and his 10th appearance overall. First pitch to Ethier, misses outside, ball one. Carroll's 1-0 with a 4.91 ERA. He's worked 11 innings, given up 17 hits and 11 runs. He's walked 7 and struck out 6. Next one to Ethier is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Andre Ethier has been hit by a pitch, walked, and struck out. He's scored 2 runs. Comes in with a 7-game hitting streak on the line. And he hits a fly ball to left center field. Reggie Willits, the center fielder, and the left fielder, David Gates, makes the catch, and there's one out. Ethier flies out to left field. One away, and the batter is Casey Myers.
Now batting designated hitter number 22, Casey Myers.
Casey Myers has singled, walked, struck out. He's scored a pair of runs. Right-handed batter. Up here against James Carroll. The pitch misses inside, ball one. A's with a 6-3 lead. Pitch misses outside. 2-0. Carroll, who pitched in the game on Tuesday night, he pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 runs. So misses inside. 3-0. He walked the first 2 batters he faced. Gave up a single to Garcia. Pitch misses low, ball 4. Myers walks. He's on at first base. 1 out. The batter is Brent Colamarino. He walked Quintanilla and Stavisky in the 6th inning. Garcia had a base hit off him to load the bases. He got Turner to hit a ground ball, but it couldn't turn double play. Colamarino hit the fly ball to left field. Gates coming in on this one. Makes the catch on the run. Colamarino out in the fly ball to left field. 2 outs, and the batter is Nelson Cruz. Two runs came in to score on Turner's ground ball and a sacrifice fly by Andre Ethier. Rancho still won the game 10-6. There's a fly ball left side out of play. A's had closed the gap to 7-6 Tuesday night, but then Rancho put the game away with 3 runs in the 8th inning. No balls and a strike to Cruz. Fastball misses inside, 1-1. Cruz 2 for 2. Single, a double, and a walk. He's driven in 4 runs. He's stolen a base, and he's been caught stealing. He's been involved. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, ground on the third baseline. Great diving stop by Porter, but he's not going to have a play. It's a base hit for Nelson Cruz. A ground ball right down the line. Porter made a great diving stop, diving towards the line, but got to his feet and realized he had nothing to do with the ball. So runners are at first and second now. There's 2 outs. And the batter is Jed Morris. Jed Morris has singled, popped up, and struck out. Left-handed batter up here against James Carroll. Right-hander out of Pepperdine. Morris fouls it off left side, out of play. Carroll's 24 years old, 6 feet, 185 pounds. Makes his home in Arlington, Texas. Graduated from Trinity Valley School in Fort Worth, Texas. Then went on to Pepperdine. Delivers 0-1 to Jed Morris, and there's a line drive left field, and it's in there for a base hit. Coming around third base and in to score is Myers. Cruz goes to third, and he is safe there. RBI single for Jed Morris. His second hit of the game. A's now lead at 7-3. Casey Myers wheeling around third base and in to score. And Cruz, very aggressive base running around second base, and comes into third. 7-3 ball game. The batter is Omar Quintanilla. Ron Hayes having a little talk with Nelson Cruz at third base. I didn't see whether or not Cruz was getting the come on in sign from Von Hayes. Foul back to the screen. 0-1. Omar Quintanilla has had a hit and 3 trips to the plate. Cruz, a very aggressive base runner. Ran the A's out of a run in the 5th inning when he got caught stealing at third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back again. 0-2. Von Hayes talking to Nelson Cruz and pointing. I'm not sure if he was giving him further instruction or chastising him for previous errors. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Quintanilla hits a high chopper right side. Second baseman B.J. Weed has it. Throw to first in time. Quintanilla is retired 4-3, and the A's are out in the 6th. They pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2. At the end of 6 innings, Modesto leading Rancho Cucamonga 7-3. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970.
All right, you guys ready? On your mark. Get set, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. What do we got?
Welcome back to John Thurman Field in Modesto. Paul Schofer bringing you tonight's action between the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes and the Oakland Athletics. We go to the top half of the 7th inning. Chris Shank still out on the mound for the A's. He'll be working to B.J. Weed, Reggie Willits, and Erick Aybar. 7-3, Modesto on top. 7 runs on 11 hits for the A's. 3 runs, 7 hits for Rancho. B.J. Weed has grounded out and singled. Second baseman up here against Shank in the 2nd inning of work, and the first pitch is hit in the air down the left field line. Long run for Cruz. He can't get it. Bounces in there right on the line for a base hit. Weed goes into second base with a double. Right down the line, Cruz came hard and couldn't get to it. Played it on a hop, and then it bounced into the corner. And B.J. Weed leads off the 7th inning with a 2-base hit. That's his 2nd hit of the night. We'll go top of the order now, and Reggie Willits. Reggie Willits has singled, grounded out, and flied out. Left-handed batter. Shank's pitch. This is high, ball 1. Shank came in the 6th inning after Tomas Cavagnaro gave up a double and a walk to open the inning. You got 3 fly ball outs, 1 run scored on the sacrifice fly. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Weed gets the leadoff double here in the 7th inning. And Reggie Willits trying to get Rancho back into this ball game. It's 7-3 up Modesto. Shank with the 1-1 pitch, swung on, hit in the air, foul, left side, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Final game of this series, the Bakersfield Blaze will be making their first appearance at John Thurman Field tomorrow night to open a 4-game series. Left-hander Leonard Landeros throwing in the A's bullpen. The check swing, almost ground ball left side. Kind of a tomahawk chop type swing. Count remains 1-2. Runner at second base is Weed. Shank looks in for the sign. Now comes set. 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, hit in the air to right field. Marcus McBeth going back on this one. He makes the catch. Weed tags, and Macbeth's throw to third base is going to be cut off by Quintanilla. Weed tags up and goes to third, and the fly ball by Willits. 1 out, and the batter is Erick Aybar.
Shortstop, number 3, Erick Aybar.
Erick Aybar has flied out, singled, and walked. Aybar, a switch hitter. Up here batting left-handed against Chris Shank. With a runner at third base and 1 out. A's playing the infield back with a 4-run lead. Ground ball or a fly ball could score the runner. There's a one-hopper out to second base, backhanded by Turner. His throw to first base is in the dirt. It bounces past Colin Marino. It's a base hit, as it looked like Aybar had that beat by a wide margin anyway. A single and a run batted in as Weed comes in to score, and it's a 7-4 ball game. Aybar does not advance past first base, so there's no error on the play. Here's Michael Napoli. Napoli is 0 for 2 officially. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning, grounded out in the fourth, and he struck out in the fifth inning. Tomas Cabanal struck him out swinging on a curveball with the bases loaded. Shanks pitched to him, swung on, fouled off right side. No balls, 1 strike. Napoli with a pair of hits in last night's ball game, driving in 2 runs. Shank goes to first base. Runner gets back. Hit his 12th home run of the season in the series opener on Tuesday. No balls, 1 strike. Shank from the belt. The pitch swung on and missed. 0-2. Runner at first base is Erick Aybar. Shank leans in for the sign for Morse. Now comes set. Throws over to first base again, and Aybar gets back to the bag. Aybar with 21 stolen bases. He's stolen 1 base tonight. Second in the California League in that category, behind Chris Morris of High Desert. Throw over to first, and again, Aybar goes back in. Pitching matchups for the Bakersfield series, it'll be Mark Camoli, the knuckleballer, going tomorrow night against Mark Sauer. Another throw over to first base, and Aybar gets back. Oh, 0-2 to Napoli. Shank comes set and throws. Napoli takes it low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Napoli just 22 years old. Been with the Angels organization since 2000 when he played at Butte, Montana. Runner goes on 1-2. Pitch is taken for strike 3. Throw to second base is in time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that retires the side. In the 7th inning for Rancho, no runs, a hit, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. In the middle of the 7th inning, it's Modesto 7 and Rancho 4. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Bottom half of the 7th inning, Marcus McBeth leading it off for the A's. First pitch is popped up in the infield. Catcher Ryan Buddy out from behind the plate, and in foul territory on the third base side, he makes the catch. 1 pitch, McBeth pops up to the catcher. 1 away, and the batter is Isaac Garcia. A's on top, 7-4. James Carroll in here for his 2nd inning of work. They gave up a run in the 6th.
Now batting third baseman number 4, Isaac Garcia.
Isaac Garcia has struck out, grounded out, and singled. 7 runs on 11 hits for the A's. 4 runs, 9 hits for Rancho. Fastball from Carroll misses inside, ball 1. Rancho has committed 2 errors tonight. The A's have committed 1. Pitch misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Next pitch is grounded towards shortstop slowly. Charged by Aybar. Throw to first in the dirt. Dug out by Napoli. In time. Garcia is retired 6-3. Nice pickup by the first baseman, Michael Napoli. 2-way, let's go top of the order in Lloyd Turner.
Now batting second baseman number 3, Lloyd Turner.
Lloyd Turner has reached on an error, singled, grounded out, and struck out. He's scored a run. Thrown out trying to steal in the 1st inning. First pitch to him. Fastball's in there for a strike, 0-1. And the next pitch is swung on and fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes to Lloyd Turner. Chilly night here at John Thurman Field. See a lot of coffee and hot cocoa going around. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Is a line drive, 1 hopper. Weed, the second baseman, has it. Falls, throws to first base in time. Turner is retired 4-3. Good recovery by Weed. That retires the side. The seventh for the A's, 3 up, 3 down. We've played 7. Modesto leads Rancho 7-4. Listening to A's baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. Top half of the 8th inning. Jared Abruzzo will be leading it off for Rancho. He'll be followed by Greg Porter and Ryan Buddy. 4, 5, 6 hitters up here against Leonard Landeros. Left-hander who just joined the club last week from Kane County will be making his 4th appearance of the season. And left-hander's first pitch to Abruzzo is swung on, hit deep to center field. Ethier going back at the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch. Good play by Andre Ethier, who has to race back to the deepest part of the ballpark to take that long drive off the bat of Jared Abruzzo. 1 out. The batter is Greg Porter. Porter's 2 for 2 with a walk. He had a double in the 4th inning. Left-handed batter up here against Landeros. And pitch is in there for a strike called, 0-1. Leonard Landeros from Hanford, California. Check swing, that's a strike. 0-2. He attended the College of the Sequoias in Visalia. 0-2 pitch, misses low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A's will be traveling to Visalia next week after the 4-game set against Bakersfield. A's headed down to Visalia on Tuesday. And Landeros will be very close to his home turf. 1-2 pitch, swung on, hit into center field. Andre Ethier coming in. He dives and he can't get it. Ball stays in front of him, but Porter is going to race into second base as Ethier looks like he's shaken up on the play. Nelson Cruz had to come in and pick up the ball. And Ethier's on his feet, and he looks like he's going to be okay. Base hit for Porter, his 3rd of the night. He's on second base, and the batter is Ryan Buddy. A double for Porter, his 2nd of the game. Perfect on the night, 2 doubles, a single, and a walk. Buddy's 0 for 3. Landeros pitch swung on, driven into center field for a base hit. Ethier coming over to cut it off in the right center field gap. In to score is Porter. It's a single and an RBI for Ryan Buddy. Makes it a 7-4 ball game. A's in front. First hit of the game for Buddy. And that's his 9th run batted into the season. That'll bring up David Gates. No lead has really been safe in this series. A's came back from a 6-0 deficit on Tuesday to make it 6-5, but then couldn't climb over the final hurdle. First pitch to Gates, misses outside, ball 1. But then when Rancho put up 3 runs in the 8th inning, that secured the deal there. No balls, 1 strike to Gates, the pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2. And then last night, A's were down 5-0, or 5-1 after 2 innings. And they came back to win that one 7-6. Brian Stavisky with 2-run single in the 5th inning and a sacrifice fly in the 9th to send the A's to victory. No balls, 2 strikes. Landeros. Timeout is called. A's are trailing by a run going into the 9th inning. Isaac Garcia led off with a double. Ethier singled them home. Quintanilla reached on a fielder's choice on a bunt attempt. They intentionally walked John Swami to load the bases. Colamarino popped up, but Stavisky sent a long fly ball to center field. There's a long drive to center field. Ethier on his horse, going back, and he makes the catch in front of the warning track. Gates flies out to center field. There's 2 away. And the batter is Jason Sugden. Sugden has grounded out, singled, and flied out. Right-handed batter, 1 for 3. Runner at first base is Ryan Buddy. Landeros comes set and throws over to first base. On the out-of-town scoreboard tonight, final scores, the High Desert Mavericks beat the Inland Empire 12-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Sugden. High Desert beat the Inland Empire of Bobby Livingston for his first defeat of the season. He's 6-1. And Lake Elsinore beat Lancaster 11-7. So the race remains the same in the South. Pitch misses outside, 1-1. Top half of the 9th inning, Visalia is leading Stockton 12-10. And the top half of the 9th, Bakersfield is leading San Jose 6-0. So the A's have an opportunity to pick up a game on San Jose if that lead holds, and the A's can win here tonight. 2 balls and a strike to Jason Sugden. Buddy's on at first base. He drove in the 5th Rancho run. Landeros pitch. That misses low. 3 balls and a strike. The A's now 9-9 in the month of May, after going 14-8 in April. So 6 games over 500 the first month of the season. There's a swing and a miss. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the A's have rode that early lead and held on to it, and have been playing 500 ball since we turned the calendar. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jason Sugden. Runner at first base. Landeros comes set. And the pitch. Swung on, just get a piece of it, fouling it back to the backstop. Count remains full. Right-hander Steve Obenchain warming up in the A's bullpen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Landeros from the stretch. A 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Landeros strikes out Sugden, and that retires the side. In the 8th inning, for Rancho, they pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 run left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning with Modesto leading Rancho Cucamonga 7-5. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. A's leading Rancho Cucamonga 7-5. New pitcher for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes is right-hander Dustin Griffith. Andre Ethier leading it off for Modesto. He was followed by Casey Myers and Brent Colamarino. 7 runs, 11 hits for the A's. 5 runs, 11 hits for Rancho. Dustin Griffith's first pitch misses. No, against the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Steve Obenchain, right-hander, throwing in the A's bullpen. Griffith's next pitch is foul back to the screen, 0-2. Griffith making his 13th appearance of the season. His record is 1-2, a 2.40 ERA. He's worked in 15 innings, given up 17 hits and 7 runs, 4 earned. 0-2 pitch, misses low and inside, 1-2. He has walked 2 and struck out 14. Opponents have a .274 batting average against him. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, popped up. The catcher, Ryan Buddy, coming down the line. Third baseman Porter makes the catch in foul territory. Ethier fouls out to the third baseman. 1 away, and the batter is Casey Myers. Casey Myers. Myers has singled and walked twice. He has scored 3 times. He also struck out once. Right-handed batter up here against Dustin Griffith, and the first pitch is lined into right center field for a base hit. Reggie Willits over to play the ball. Casey Myers with his second hit of the game. He's on at first base. The batter's Brant Colamarino.
Now batting first base number 23, Brant Colamarino.
Brant Colamarino is grounded out. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning with the bases loaded, driving in a run. Flew out to center field, flew out to left field. Griffith's pitch is swung on a miss, strike one. Dustin Griffith, 23 years old, from County Community College in Liberal, Kansas. 6'4", 200 pounds. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Colamarino. Makes his home in Littleton, Colorado now. Pitched 36 games for Rancho last season. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Griffith also made four appearances at Cedar Rapids and 1 at Arkansas. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Colamarino. And the pitch. Hit on the ground, right side, and past the diving lead into right field for a base hit. Colamarino with his first hit of the game. He's on at first base. Myers goes to second. And the batter is Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz has had himself quite a ball game. 2-run single in the first inning. 2-run double in the second inning. He walked in the fifth and stole his fifth base of the season. He singled in the sixth inning. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Casey Myers. Ryan Stavisky in the game to pinch run for Casey Myers at second base. First pitch to Cruz misses low, ball 1. A's with a 2-run lead.
Pitch running for Casey Myers at second base. Number 19, Ryan Stavisky.
1 ball, no strikes to Cruz. Griffith with the pitch. Cruz pops it up. Foul, right side, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cruz with 3 hits tonight, including his 16th double of the season. He leads the league in that category. 1-1 pitch. This is low and outside, 2-1. Cruz also leads the league with 22 extra base hits. Has 24 RBIs now. There's a ground ball base hit in the left field. Stavisky's being waved around third base. Gates up with the ball. Here comes a throw home. It's cut off. Stavisky scores, and the A's have an 8-5 lead. 4th hit of the game for Nelson Cruz. Drives in his 5th run.
Now batting catcher number 37, Jed Morris.
It gives the A's more of a cushion. There's runners at first and second now for Jed Morris. Well, Nelson Cruz having himself a night. 5 runs batted in, 4 hits, a walk and a stolen base. Here's Jed Morris. Swung on a miss, strike 1. Morris 2 for 4. He's got a pair of singles and a run batted in. A's trying to win this rubber game of the series and extend their lead over the San Jose Giants to 2 games for first place in the Northern Division of the California League. Morris pops it up in the infield. It's third baseman Porter. Now the first baseman, Napoli, comes in and makes the catch right in front of the mound. Second out of the inning. Morris pops up to first. The batter is Omar Quintanilla. Quintanilla has a single and 4 trips to the plate. Left-handed batter. First pitch in there for a strike called, 0-1. Throw down to first base, and the throw goes into right field. Here comes Colin Marino around third base. Here comes a throw home. He's in safely. The pitch was a strike, and Buddy threw down to first base and threw it past Napoli into right field. That's an error on the catcher, allowing Colin Marino to come in to score. It's an 8-5 ball game. Cruz goes to second base. Check that, 9-5 now. The pitch. This is low. That's a strike, and he made the tag. Buddy tried to make the tag, then he dropped the ball. Quintanilla going down to first base, but the umpire calls him out, and the inning is over. In the eighth for the A's, they pick up a pair of runs on 3 hits, an error, and 1 run left on base. We've played 8. Modesto leading Rancho Cucamonga 9-5. You're listening to A's baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to John Thurman Field. We go to the 9th inning. The A's get themselves a little bit more of a cushion in the 8th with a pair of runs. And Jeff Coleman comes out of the bullpen to try and nail this one down for the Athletics and extend their lead over the San Jose Giants to 2 games in the Northern Division. Jeff Coleman, the right-hander from San Dimas, California, comes in making his 10th appearance of the season. His record is 0-1, a 4.91 ERA. He has 5 saves. He's worked 7 1/3 innings, given up 5 hits and 4 runs. He has walked 3 and struck out 5. He's held opponents to a 192 batting average. B.J. Weed will be leading it off for Rancho. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Reggie Willits and Erick Aybar. Coleman winds, and the first pitch is swung on a miss, strike 1. Aybar has a pair of hits. He has a single and a double, and he's scored a run. 9 runs, 14 hits for the A's, 5 runs, 11 hits for Rancho. 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground to second base. Lloyd Turner up with it. Throws to first in time. Weed is retired 4-3, and there's one away. At the top of the order, Reggie Willits. Reggie Willits has singled, grounded out, and flied out twice. Left-handed batter up here against Jeff Coleman. And the first pitch misses low, ball one. Leonard Landeros gives up a run in his one inning of work. And 2 hits. He had a strikeout. Pitch misses low, 2-0. No walks and a strikeout for Landeros. Chris Shank went 2 innings. Shutout ball, gave up 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Pitch misses low. 1 run scored while Shank was in there. That run was charged to Tomas Carbonell, who gives up 4 runs tonight, 7 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Coleman out here trying to save Tomas Carbonell's 3rd victory this season. Pitch misses low, ball 4. Willits is on. Willits on at first base, and the batter is Erick Aybar. Aybar has flied out. He has a pair of singles, and he's walked. Scored a run, driven 1 in. 9-5, Modesto leads. Willits has a lead at first base. Colin Marino not holding him on. I'd expect him to go, and there he does. Pitch is fouled off. Well, the thing with Rancho here is they've got some heavy guns coming up. Aybar's got power. Napoli leads the league in home runs. Abruzzo can hit the ball. And then you got Porter, Buddy, and Gates. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up, left side, foul, out of play. So, trailing by 4 runs, they're not out of this thing. And with Willits at first base, I would just assume, if I was the manager, have him at second base where you don't have a double play situation that's going to end this thing. Whereas all Jeff Coleman is looking for right now is 2. There's a bouncing ball foul, third base side. No balls, 2 strikes. Willits ran on the first pitch, hasn't run subsequently. Or afterwards. No balls, 2 strikes to Aybar. Coleman comes set. And now steps off the rubber. Now the right-hander delivers, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off. Willits was running on that one. 1,511 tonight's paid attendance. Enjoying a chilly night here at John Thurman Field. Coleman checks the runner first. Colin Marino trying to stay close to him, but still not holding him on, playing behind the runner. And now he backs up. Now Coleman comes set. And the runner goes. Pitch is taken low. 1-2. Runner goes down to second base. Defensive indifference. It's a 1-ball and 2-strike count to the batter, Erick Aybar. And the pitch. Swung on, fouled off his foot. No, what's this? They're going to call him out. Oh, they're going to call Aybar out. I think he's going to say that he hit the ball and then he was in fair territory. It was a very awkward swing. And his momentum carried him out into fair territory where the ball hit him. It was a fair ball, and he kicks it. And so Aybar is out. That'll be a put out to the catcher, Jed Morris. 2 outs now, and they send the runner back to second base, Willits. The batter is Michael Napoli. The ball hit the runner in play. So he is out, and it's a dead ball, and Willits has to go back to second base. Here's Napoli. Coleman looking for the last out of the game. The first pitch bounces away from Morris. It bounces out into fair territory. It's a wild pitch, and Willits goes to third. One ball, no strike to Napoli. Coleman looks like he's still going to work out of the stretch. No, he's still going to work out of the stretch with the runner at third base. And the 1-0 pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Napoli has a home run in the series. He's hitless tonight. He had 2 hits in last night's game. 2-0 pitch misses high. 3-0. Coleman last pitched on Sunday in Bakersfield when he picked up his first loss of the season, as Vince Harrison drove home the winning run. Pitch misses low, ball 4. So he walks Napoli. Runners at first and third base. The batter is Jared Abruzzo. Here comes Scott Emerson. Headed out to the mound to address Jeff Coleman. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Arrival Communications. For all of your business, internet, and telecommunications needs, call the local team, Arrival Communications, at 866-ARRIVAL. Rancho has runners at first and third base with 2 outs. A's leading the ball game 9-5. Like the previous 2 games in this series, it looks like we're going to come right down to the wire with it. Emerson finishes his discussion with Coleman. And Jeff will be working to Jared Abruzzo, who has a double in 4 trips to the plate. He drove in a run with a ground ball in the 4th inning. Runners at first and third. A's have a 9-5 lead. Left-handed batter. And the pitch. That misses low, ball 1. Abruzzo, a switch hitter up here, batting left-handed against Coleman. This pitch misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Abruzzo against right-handed hitters is batting .300 with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. He's batting .714 against left-handers. It's popped up, foul territory. Moore is coming over towards the dugout, and he dives and he can't get it. And the ball bounces into the dugout. Jed didn't see it right away. Colin Marino, the first baseman, coming down the line trying to help. He couldn't get there in time. And Jed lunged for it at the last instant and couldn't come up with it. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Abruzzo. A's leading 9-5. Jeff Coleman trying to put this one away. Right-hander comes set, a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 2-2. That game Sunday, Coleman came in trying to protect a one-run lead. Touch for a home run by Brent Cordell to tie the game. Cordell pinch hitting for the catcher Greg Merritt. Matt Maniscalco with a base hit. He was sacrificed, and Vince Harrison with the base hit to win it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coleman comes set, and the pitch. Swung on and foul back to the screen. Count remains even, 2-2. Fans, don't make an error with your business. Instead, turn to C.A. Redding for all of your office equipment needs. C.A. Redding is your complete office solutions provider and an official business partner of the Modesto A's. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coleman comes set. And the pitch. Inside, the count is full. 3-2. If Abruzzo gets on base, that'll bring the tying run up to the plate. From the stretch, Coleman with the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, right side, foul, and out of play. In the A's bullpen, Steve Obenchain is up once again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Abruzzo waves the bat across the plate, now cocks it over his ear. Coleman's pitch. Inside, ball 4. He walked him, and that loads the bases. Napoli goes to second. Abruzzo's on at first. Rancho has the bases loaded, and the batter is Greg Porter. Porter 3 for 3 in the night, a pair of doubles and a single. He's also walked. Scored a run. Coleman's pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. Left-handed hitting third baseman. Coleman looks into Morris for the sign. Now throws. Pitch misses high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Porter was 2 for 5 in yesterday's ball game with a home run. Bases full of Quakes. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled off, left side. 1-2. Coleman trying to save this game for Tomas Cabanyal. Making it interesting here in the 9th inning. Right-hander comes set. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just misses, low and away. Count is even, 2-2. Willits at third. Napoli at second. Abruzzo at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Greg Porter. Coleman gets the sign from Morris. Now the right-hander comes set. The 2-2 pitch. High. Full count, 3-2. Ryan Buddy is on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes. The runners will be going. Anything hit to the gap is going to score all 3. The pitch. Popped up. Foul. Out of play. Count remains full. 9 runs on 14 hits for the A's. 5 runs on 11 hits for Rancho. The Quakes have the bases loaded. We're in the top half of the 9th inning. The 3-2 pitch. Popped up, foul, left side. That one's going to get into the seats. And the count remains full. on Hayes. Signaling for Lloyd Turner to move back on the outfield grass. He does by 2 steps. Coleman, again with the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off left side. And the more pitches Porter sees, obviously, more advantage to the batter. He's seen 8 pitches in this at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Coleman with the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Coleman strikes out Greg Porter with the bases loaded, and the ball game is over. A's win it in the 9th inning for Rancho. No runs, no hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. Final score, it's Modesto 9 and Rancho Cucamonga 5. We'll be back with the final totals right after these messages. You're listening to A's Baseball on ESPN Radio 970. Welcome back to a chilly John Thurn Field in Modesto, but the A's aren't chilly. They're still pretty hot after an impressive victory here tonight against the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes as they come up with a 9-5 victory to take the series 2-1 and move 2 games ahead of the San Jose Giants for first place in the Northern Division of the California League. Final totals in tonight's ball game: 9 runs on 14 hits, 1 error, and 9 runners left on base for the A's. For Rancho Cucamonga, 5 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors, and 9 runners left on base. The winning pitcher is Tomas Cabanal. His record now is 3-1. The losing pitcher is Daniel Davidson. His record is 1-2. Time of the game, 3 hours and 16 minutes in front of a crowd of 1,511 here at John Thurman Field this evening. Your Yonans player of the game for tonight, well, Tomas Cabanal pitched a strong ball game for 5+ innings, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits, picking up his 3rd victory. But the star for tonight's game is Nelson Cruz. What an outstanding evening for Cruz. He had 4 hits, 5 runs batted in, a walk, a stolen base, and played his usually aggressive and outstanding baseball tonight in left field and on the base paths. Nelson Cruz is your Yonans player of the game. For all of the jewelry needs, head down to Yonans Jewelers, located at 2485 Gear Road in Turlock, or the new store at 1809 McHenry Avenue in the Safeway Shopping Center in Modesto. That's Yonans Jewelers, proud sponsors of the Modesto A's and Diamonds Everywhere. And now let's go downstairs where Michael Thomas is with Nelson Cruz. Well, I thought he was. Well, let's hold on and see if we can get him. Okay, well, in the game tonight, Reggie Willits started off the game for Rancho in typical Tomas Cabanal fashion by scoring the first run. He led off with a base hit, stole second base, went to third on an error, and came in to score on Michael Napoli's sacrifice fly. And it looked like the first inning woes of Tomas Cabanal were going to rear their ugly head once again against the A's here this evening. But the A's came right back in the bottom half of the first inning. Andre Ethier was hit by a pitch, and Casey Myers singled on a 3-2 pitch, and Nelson Cruz drove both of those runs in after they were moved over to third base and a ground out by Colin Marino. Cruz drove home 2 with a base hit, and the A's were leading 2-1. They extended that lead with 3 more in the second inning, and again, it was Nelson Cruz after Brent Colin Marino was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to bring home 1 run. Nelson Cruz doubled in 2 more, and the A's had a 5-1 lead. They added 1 more in the 5th inning on an RBI on a error after Isaac Garcia singled, and a throwing error by the third baseman Greg Porter allowed Quintanilla to come in to score, and then Jed Morris drove in a run in the 6th inning to give the A's a 7-3 lead. And then the A's tacked on 2 more in the 8th. Again, it was Nelson Cruz driving home a run, and 1 more run scored on an error by the catcher, Ryan Buddy. Okay, and now let's see if we have Michael Thomas down there with Nelson Cruz.
Welcome to the A's post-game report. Michael Thomas along with Modesto A's left fielder Nelson Cruz. Nelson, you had a big night tonight at the plate. 4 for 4 with a double and 5 RBIs. Talk about your play tonight at the plate.
Good. I feel good in the bat. Every pitch I see pretty good, all those pitch, and they give me a pitch to hit. That's what I do.
So it was just you're just seeing the ball well. If it was something you could handle, you took a swing at it.
Yeah, we working in my swing today, Eddie, and hitting coach. Yeah.
So talk about you win the series from these guys, and you stay 2 games ahead of San Jose. The San Jose Giants lost tonight 6-1, so it's back to a 2-game lead. But anyway, talk about that last out there with Jeff Coleman. Gosh, I bet you were one of the guys who couldn't wait for this to end. I mean, being so cold out there.
Yeah, it's cool. And the way of walking, strike, strike out a guy. That's what we want to win. It's a great game,
Yeah, and I mean, with this weather, this must be like snow to you. You being from the Dominican Republic, I mean, you don't get no weather like this back home.
No, not like that. We're playing in Midwest, last year, and there's snow there. I feel like not that cool, but it's cool, yeah.
So, does your family ever get to come out and watch you play at all?
Maybe this year they're coming in June, maybe. Yeah.
Did they ever get to see you play in Vancouver or King County last year?
No, never.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for stopping by on the postgame show, Nelson, and good luck tomorrow against the Bakersfield Blades.
Okay, thanks.
All right. That was was Modesto A's left fielder Nelson Cruz, who had a big night, going 4 for 4 with a double and 5 RBIs. This is Michael Thomas down on the field. Let's send it back up to Paul Schofer in the booth.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. Nelson Cruz with a big night indeed, and he's your Yonens player of the game as the A's beat the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes and take the series 2-1. They now have a 2-game lead over the San Jose Giants, who lost tonight to the Stockton Ports, and they're getting ready to open up a 4-game series against the Bakersfield Blaze tomorrow night. The A's next game tomorrow at 7:05. It'll be Mark Sauer, right-hander, going against Mark Camoli, the right-handed knuckleball pitcher for the Bakersfield Blaze. Time of the game, 7:05. We'll be on the air with the pregame show at 6:50. Our producer tonight has been David Moffett. For Michael Thomas, this is Paul Schofer reporting. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, the final score, the Modesto Athletics beat the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes 9-5 from John Thurman Field in Modesto. Good night, everybody, and may God bless.